Problem 2.95, the Excel portion on page 83. I've already sorted the data from the furniture data set. I've already created the bins. I've done that a couple times in previous Excel videos, and so I'm not going to go over that again. You should be comfortable with that. And as a friendly reminder, you're welcome to talk to the lab person or myself. So we've got the array sorted. We're going to create a frequency distribution and percentage distribution. So once again, I'm going to go to the data analysis. This is something that hopefully a lot of you are getting quite familiar with. We go, okay. We have the input range, which in this case is A2. So go Control Shift down arrow as a friendly reminder. We want to have the bin range, and I'm just going to select it this way. We have the output range. I'm going to move it over so it's a little closer. I'm going to put it in E1. And once again, because I've used this previously, I've got the Pareto, the cumulative, and the chart output all identified. One of the things I'm going to do a little different is I'm going to pick the labels so that the days and the bins will be there. All right, and here we are. So I'll just adjust the columns. And as you've seen before, we have a nice chart which shows the histogram and the cumulative percentages, also known as the ogive. We also want to create a histogram and the percentage polygon. So we've got the histogram already. So I'm going to go to Insert, and we're going to see what the recommended charts are. Whoops, sometimes I forget in this particular case. So we're going to do the histogram, and it's going to take a look at it, and we're going to, I'll select the bins also. See what the recommended charts look like, and here we are. So there's our histogram. It's different than the Pareto chart because the Pareto chart is strictly declining. So this chart goes up and down based on the frequency. So it's not a set of stairs going down. It goes up and down. It looks fairly similar, but there is a difference. What I'm going to do next is go back to Insert, and I'm going to move this out of the way. So I'm going to go back to Insert. Go under Recommended. Recommended is great. But in this particular case, you don't see anything that looks like it. The chart that looks most like it is this one here, but it doesn't look like what we saw in the solutions. And the reason for that is because it's not looking at the cumulative. So I'm going to select the bin. I'm going to go Control in case you've forgotten. And I'm going to select the cumulative percentage. So here and here. Actually, let me do that one more time. I don't want the more in there because it's got 0. And then go to Insert, go to Recommended Charts, and you can see the cumulative is there. Now, I'm going to move this down. And again, you can use different forms of this. But We're going to do it one more time, but this time use the frequency and to do a polygon, simply the line chart. So I've got this data selected. Insert. I'm going to, if I want to do it as, again, a line chart, 2D line chart, I could do it this way. You can see because I've got both columns selected, but I like to use the recommended one. And the recommended one will look like this. Now, if we started at a different point, that's where it will go up. So again, don't particularly worry about that because it went up and then down. So the difference will be this, the starting point. In this particular case, so it would start from 0 and it would go up and then go down. And they use different, they used, if you remember, like 49.99, etc. So that's why they get a slightly different chart. All right. So just again, different ways you can present it. I'll just click that. Here's one that looks different. You can change the look very easily to whatever you think is. The point of all of this is to make it easy to read. You know, the pictures in the columns. Here's one that's got the numbers in there. That's kind of interesting. So just play around with it. And you know, if you want to change the chart type, you can do that so easily. You've got bar charts, all kinds of charts for you to play around with. Excel has really expanded the types of charts. It used to be very limited. So there you are. And that's the end of chapter number 2. A lot of Excel and charts, and the reason why it's included in the course is industry. This is probably, you're going to use this more than you will some of the stuff later in the course, especially on regression and stuff like that. That's higher end things. So I hope you've enjoyed the chapter, and we will move on to chapter number 3.